Good morning. Hi everyone. I am not sure why I look so dreamy today like on camera. Are you guys seeing it? It's just like the camera, there's this effect. It looks like super dreamy. There's like this blur. Okay, anyways. I like it. All right, guys, how are you doing this morning? Let me know. Good morning, Kaylin. So, so yesterday, full transparency with you guys, I did ask Miko anything live stream, and I did the whole thing. I even posted, I shared it, and then I let my feelings of insecurities and feelings about myself took over, and I actually deleted my Ask Miko Anything live yesterday. Like, that still shows up for me. I want to let you guys know, like, I'm not perfect, right? As I'm on this journey of like developing myself, on this journey of really healing any past trauma, healing anything that's like holding me back and me standing in my own way, like that still shows up a lot. And it actually showed up again this morning when I was sitting down to write an email that goes out to my audience every single morning. And the moment that I sat down, the moment that I pulled up like the software where I was typing the email, I had this thought that just came into my mind like super quick, and it was super automatic. That was like, just give up. Like, nobody cares and nobody reads your email. Just give up. Like, that voice just showed up, and I was like, oh my god, right? Like, I'm so good at detaching from my thoughts and my emotions nowadays. Like, whenever those things show up, immediately I'm able to catch it. Like, I'm able to not be so attach or so identify with that voice or with those emotions. I'm able to really look at those when they come up from a third person point of view, right? I'm looking at it like an observer, just watching these thoughts, watching these emotions show up. But when that showed up, I was just like, where did this voice come from? Like, who's talking right now? I know that's not me. Like, I know that's not Miko, but it is a part of me, right? There's an old version of Miko that was so traumatized, I don't know, from God knows when, as a little kid, right? Maybe as a little kid, I really spoke up. Maybe I really voiced who I was, like fearlessly just kind of voice something. Maybe someone yelled at me, maybe someone kind of made me feel unloved because I just voiced myself in the past. I don't know, right? Like, there are so many incidents that happen as a little kid that we may not have such explicit memory of, but it's still a part of our subconscious like programming. It's still in our bodies. Like, that trauma, when you voice yourself when you were a little kid, when you were so excited and you wanted to share something, but maybe your parent wasn't in a good mood, maybe they were just kind of upset and they kind of told you to be quiet and kind of shut you down, then that created a story that tells you, like, if I am going to voice myself, I am going to feel pain, I'm going to feel unloved, I'm going to get yelled at. So that story, it's playing in your life, like pretty much your whole life. And it shows up in cases like what showed up for me this morning, like when I sit down to write an email that would go out to like almost 1,000 people on my list, and this voice just showed up and be like, give up. Like, no one's gonna care, no one's gonna read your email, just give up. Like, that voice showed up. It was so mean. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, and I just really held space for that voice, and just be so compassionate for it. Like, what do you need? Like, what part of Miko is feeling that hurt right now, that is so scared of this disapproval, or so scared of like rejections, that I am even stopping myself before I allow people to have the opportunity to be a critic. Like, I was my own biggest critic at that moment before I even have the opportunity for others to get a say on like what they think about what I put out, my content, my email, right? And I want you guys to think about this in your own life. Like, how many times do you stop yourself before you even start playing the game, or before you even start something, you already stop yourself by saying like, I cannot do this, like it's impossible, it's too difficult, I'm scared. Like how many times, like maybe you want to start a business, or maybe it can even be something so small. You want to cut a habit that no longer serve you, right? Like maybe you want to stop using your phone so often. You want to do that. You have this conscious decision that you want to do it, but then there's this voice in the back of your mind that would just tell you that it's not gonna happen, that you need your Facebook, that you need Instagram, that you need your phone, and it's just gonna stop you subconsciously. It stops you right on your track, that you can't even move forward, right? And so oftentimes most of us are so deep into listening to that voice, and we feel like that voice and that those thoughts, those emotions are actually who we are. But you really need to get to the place where you are so detached from the thoughts and the emotions that show up, and understand that that's not you. You are just the observer, witnessing, experiencing all of those things that show up. And when you can get to that place, that's when like you really get to see the insanity that really shows up in your mind, in your emotions, all day, every day. Like you would just, and all those emotions and thoughts are actually just a result of past experiences, right? But if you continue to feel the same way, to think the same way every single day, you're just going to create this more of the same thing. Like you're not actually creating a new future, because you're just reliving the traumas, the past, the pain of the past, right? Every decision that you make, every action that you take, it's actually based on you avoiding a certain pain that you felt when you were 5 years old, when you were 6 years old, when you said something and someone made you feel unloved. Like you're just repeating those cycles, right? Like even if you're 35, if you're 25, doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter unless you really unravel that loop, that habitual loop of like same way of thinking, same way of feeling, same way of acting, and same way of being. Like that's a loop that just goes into a circle. It's a pattern. You gotta break it somehow in that cycle if you're to create a new reality for yourself, a new future, a new way of being. You just gotta break that pattern. And the first step is really detaching from your thoughts and your emotions, and understanding that that's not you. So let me know, guys, what you guys think so far. Drinking some tea. It's such an amazing day today. All right, so take a couple of deep breaths and really like think about what I share with you today. I offer you to really keep this in mind throughout the day. When a thought shows up, and really ask, like, is that even me? Like, is that my voice, or that's a voice of my past, a voice that's coming from a traumatized like little Miko, or where is that coming from? Really get into the habit of questioning, where does that thought come from, right? When that thought of feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm stressed out, like where's the money gonna come from? Where is that thought coming from? Where is that fear coming from? Really get into a detective mode and question yourself. And you need to have that space, right? When you guys are constantly on Facebook or constantly on Instagram, you don't have that space to actually get to know you, get to know why that voice is showing up, get to know why that emotion is showing up. And until you break that cycle, the same way of thinking and feeling and acting and being, you will never create a new reality. You're just going to create more of the same, more of the lack of money, more of the lack of bad relationships that you're always in. It's just always going to be in that cycle. So you got to break that if you want to create something new. All right, so that's all I want to share with you guys today. I hope you have an amazing day. Sending so much love from my heart to you. I will see you again at 4 p.m. PST. This time around, I am not going to let my insecurities hold me back. Like, just nope. All right, guys. I'll see you soon, and take care.